G, C would go to D in a pen scale, E, the fourth of C, would go to G in a pen scale, and G, the fifth of C, would go to A in a pen scale. Okay, so we have C, D is the next one in a pen scale, and then from C going backwards, C would go down to A in the word cage, which is a backwards pen scale. Okay, so pen scale, mirror image is the word caged. So the blues magic key is written right here. You can hardly see it there. Blues magic key is one cage advance, plus one cage. So C would go to A in caged. Okay, a little watch on the blues notes. Where are they? They're on the first string and the sixth string, which are the same. Okay, and then over here we've got one on the third string, but when are we going to get to that? We don't know yet. So I'm just going to show you on the chart that once you have the root key of the blues is C, and you have that the location of the blues note, and root key is on the first string, which is the E. Here's A string, here's D string, here's G string, here's B string. These are string designators. Doesn't matter where you are on the string. The E string, they all have 40 notes on each other, you know, related to some formula. And the action, which also affects the length of the string, but that's for another subject. I do have to design the notes for my 5-string violin that I bought. It's sitting gathering dust. So we have C, up a pen scale to a D, down, up a caged word to an A for the blues magic key. The blues magic key is going to be a diatonic, it's going to be a scale. The blues pent key is going to be a pentatonic, and the obviously the root key of the blues can be a scale, diatonic, pentatonic, okay, or a chord. All right. We're not going to play the blues pent key as a chord. We're not going to play this as a chord unless you want to just do that. It sounds good, but the root key of the blues is the only thing that we're really going to have a chord. So notice how they all, moving forward with the discussion, they all have the blues note on the first string. So back up here to the C box. Remember, this is your fret nut here. Okay, so if I put Mr. Capo here, this will be how yours is tuned. I enjoy this when I enjoy putting a capo on. I don't enjoy using a capo if I'm just doing open string playing, let's say at home in the dark, because I want total open strings. I happen to be C tuned. So here's our C. Here's F, E-shaped F, and then G-shaped G. The way to make this easier is not to go right into the pentatonic, but I'm going to do a C chord here. C diatonic, same thing. C diatonic, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's a double Phrygian scale. And add a couple of notes there. It's all a C major scale, okay? So this would be, obviously, the, perhaps this is E down here. Okay? So it's all the white keys, all the ivories. But they're not white on here because I had to color them, because even when I used to put all white notes, just so I had all black and white notes, wow, it was really appealing to the eyes to see a keyboard transferred onto, squished down, 6 keyboards squished down onto 6 strings. But I couldn't tell them apart, so I came up with a color scheme. Okay, so red is G, light blue is A, blue gray is B, yellow is C, light purple is D, and light green is E, and F is white or light gray. The others are black because they're accidentals. So that's it. That's the system. These notes don't change. Only the overlay, the system that we're playing changes. But it's easy because that means you can play it anywhere with the strings. They just happen to work that way. Isn't that interesting? Because of the lengths of the frets as you go along getting bigger, that's why you can move the same shape, but you have to open and close your fingers to fit those frets, but you do the same shape. Okay, so let's move forward with this. We have our C diatonic. It's not pentatonic yet. Whenever you can play a diatonic, you can play a pentatonic. Okay, because we're going to use that concept when we shadow that C. So when we shadow the C here, a third up, a minor third up, we're going to shadow that C for the blues. So it'd be like this. Here's the shadow. Okay. Before we get to shadowing that C, we want to see what we're going to play in the C cage. We're going to do a D pentatonic, because remember, it's a pentatonic advance. So the first thing we do is a C to a pentatonic D advance. So it's... Okay, that was a D pentatonic scale. Now, where's the blues note? It's going to stay right there. We haven't left the cage, so it would be... Okay. Like that. The blues note doesn't change. Now, we also have a Mixolydian blues master key, so we can go... Okay, that was blues master key. Now, we're not going to take that A up to its next cage shape just yet. But actually, the way this is set up, here's your C, here's your E flat, and here's your fifth. Okay, so sorry I messed that up a little bit. We do a minor there, and then each minor has a relative major. So when you take a C, it's probably easier for me on piano, and we go into a minor, then we want to play the relative major of that C minor, which is E flat major. Now, the rule is, for modal playing, okay, if we have a C shape, then its relative minor is going to be the next advanced letter in cage, which is A minor. Similarly, if you have A minor, its parent major key is going to be one pentatonic advance in a C pentatonic scale. So it goes, A goes to C again. Okay? So the same thing, if we take this C minor here that I messed up pretty bad, because it's early in the morning, and we want to go to its relative E flat major, okay, we're going to go up one pentatonic scale from the C minor. Remember, cage works in major and minor. So we go from C up to a D shape. That's where we get the D pent blues here. Okay? Because we're playing the relative major of a C minor, and that C minor gives us those blues notes for free. Gives us 2 of those blues notes for free. C minor 7th. What we do then is we take that D pent right here, and we're going to go to its next caged position up. Because remember, with caged, you go to D, we'll go to C, right? For the same chord. D goes to C again, which cage starts again, and then C goes to A in the word caged, right? So we've got our D blues. We're going to take that D blues to the C here. So why not just skip from the C here up a minor third? A little segment break there. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip right to the C pent blues here and call that its shadow. We don't have to play the D pent blues, and we'll see how that comes into play with some of the shapes that we don't have a nice easy shape to play. We can just shadow it with the same root pent key. So the root key of the blues becomes the root pent key when we shadow it a minor third up. Okay, the D is